How do I make myself feel a way I don't feel? You have to want it enough that you find the way. That's really what it comes down to. Sometimes things have to get pretty out of balance before you make the decision. Planet Earth.
Howdy.
Yeah.
So, this is my second encounter, and a friend of mine introduced me to you in a moment of despair. He just sent me a clip, said, don't look at the animation, just listen to it. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed. So
that's why Esther doesn't mind those animations. A lot of information out there for a lot of people to find when they're ready, right?
So it's only been about 6 months, 6 to 9 months,
yeah.
But I'm churning and I'm manifesting great, wonderful things. And I had a call from a friend of a friend yesterday. Well, I was talking to a friend of mine and to see how he's doing with his back surgery, and he's healing well, and he's out walking, and he's doing great things. And then all of a sudden, his friend jumped on the phone and said, oh my God, Zaki, you could save my life. I had this job in Savannah, Georgia, and so forth, but they had me do a drug screen, and it came back positive for THC. But she said if I get a doctor's note, in other words, he said, you could save me, you could bail me out. And my immediate response was, this is not my problem.
Well, another way of saying it is, this is not your solution.
Okay.
Because he can't get there from there. That's what we started to talk about a little bit earlier, about which end of the stick is someone coming from. Because some of the things that we've said about this is, you say, I do this for you because I see you cannot do it for yourself. Well, that's not the message that their inner being is wanting to send. How do you get on the other end of the stick? So, this is not my problem. That's your opinion.
Okay.
What's your intention? What's your intention?
I'm a people pleaser. So, and part of my growth is
we'll ask that question again then.
Okay.
I'm a people pleaser, but what's your intention in that? In other words, do you please people to hurt them? Do you please people to harm them? Or do you please people to soothe them and please people to help them find solutions?
Well, often it's to soothe them, to help them, but sometimes it's to avoid their anger.
What happens is, now this is a wonderful conversation, because this is just what we were talking about before you came up here. So the conversation is about all the clutter of all the thoughts and all the relationships and all the experiences and all the stuff that I've done, and this always turns out this way and this always turns out this way, and I try to help and it doesn't ever really help, and then I get overwhelmed. Or you could go to the simpler version of just feeling your way to it. And so when somebody's coming to you like that, what's the feeling that you had? What's the emotion? What's the feeling? It was one of a little bit of irritation. This is not my problem. It was certainly one of, don't get me involved in this. But what's the emotion in that? You can find it here. What's the core emotion that's about? It's overwhelmment, because there's so many people who believe that they could benefit by your action or behavior. A lot of people would lean on you if you would let them, and you have in the past, until it wasn't fun anymore, and you realized that it almost became a personal thing, that if I let so much of that happen. And the reason that these ideas came to you is because they are really vibrationally accurate. When you give your service, when you serve from depletion, which is always what negative emotion is, not only do you not get the job done, but you are further depleted. You can only be of value to someone when you are really tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And so you can't help anyone unless you are really flowing, which means if they come at you with, you're going to save me, you know what end of the stick they're on. But if you think about what your intentionality is about them or anyone, then you can get on the other end of the stick, and you can ask yourself, I can save them through this action. This person will just end up in the same place again and again and again and again. Or I can join forces with my inner being and that person's inner being and get on the other end of the stick. So what's on the other end of that stick? What is this person who is desperate about this? What rocket have they launched? What's on the other end of their stick? While they're desperate, what's on the other end of the stick? They want stability. They want things to work out for them. They want this job or whatever it is to be something that's satisfactory. And they want financially to improve. In other words, there are a lot of things that this negative emotion in them is telling you that they want. And where's their inner being? What's the path of allowance? How can you allow yourself to be of service in a way that the service can really flow? Saving someone, pinching yourself off, or aligning with their true intent and speaking to them as you now know their inner being would speak to them. You got this, man. You're a good guy. You can figure this out. I have confidence in you. Maybe not this time, but next time. I'm not worried about you. Things should be going your way. You're deserving of good things going your way. There's a lot of help out there for you. Feeling like that. And then if you're able to really get yourself feeling like that, then your power of influence will draw from them something different too. If you save them, you know what happens when you become somebody who jumps in and saves them? They never have to do anything other than get in a jam and call you. They become proficient at needing to be saved, which means you've lured them away from their own power. You've lured them away from their own guidance system. But when you stand with their inner being, no, man, I see you. I hear you. I believe in you. If this came to you, something else will too. This is the trend that you're on. You're going to be all right. It's going to work out for you. And you can feel how that feels as you say the things to this person that their inner being is channeling through you to say to them. Whether they hear it or not, you keep yourself in alignment with the source energy that flows through you. You don't diminish yourself. Jerry said almost every day to Esther or around Esther, near Esther, he used this phrase: I want to always be of value to anyone that I'm interacting with, and I never want my interaction to diminish anyone. And Esther thought, through time, because it was many, many years that she heard him say that, she thought that what he was saying is, I'm not going to tell anybody off. I'm not going to beat anybody up. I'm not going to shoot anybody with a gun. I'm not going to take any action. And then as we began talking more and more about the power of your alignment when you're in alignment with your source energy, or the power of thought, Esther realized that Jerry wasn't even going to think negatively about someone. He wasn't going to join their pity party or their belief in their inability. You're going to save my life, he said to you. Not me. I have no power. You're going to do it. And when you go along with that, there's diminishment that is happening to that person. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it this time. But if you stay in your power and you acknowledge what you know his power to be, that feels entirely different. And then when he makes it, you're thrilled. Like your friend who's walking good. You're thrilled. You're thrilled. Not because you saved him. That's not what you came to do. You came to live through the power of your example, the life of how this universe works, to set the example so that others can find their way. Because we promise you, if they find their way through you, then you're the one that gets the satisfaction about it. Nobody feels satisfaction that you saved me. Satisfaction comes from one place, having an intention and moving in the direction of it. Clear? Obvious? Is it obvious? Mostly obvious? Sort of obvious? Tiny little bit obvious?
No, I was pissed that he was calling me with this request. So is my process now...
So were you pissed? Or is who you are really wanting to uplift, and what he was asking you knew wasn't the way to get it done? So were you pissed at him? Were you upset at him? Or were you in this quandary where you knew, if I follow what he wants, we don't get it done. And if I follow what I want, he may not understand. You're between a rock and a hard place all the time, aren't you, folks? You got to do what they want you to do or they're mad, or you do what's really best for them and you feel good. You have to work this out. Experience by experience by experience by experience. If you were the one that stood over there and said, I know you can do it, people would stop asking you for money. If your answer is always the same, you can do this. It's flowing to you. You just got to tap into it. You just got to tap into it. They might be mad because they'd rather you just took it out of your pocket and gave it to them. But when you're not mad at them, you are vying for them. You're not working against them. You're joining their inner being in advocation for them. You know what we're just saying to you here? You're treating them like their inner being treats them. You know why they're afraid? Because they're not in sync with their inner being. So what are you going to do? Their inner being can't reach them. You think you're going to? No. You can just fork it over and fork it over and fork it over, but nothing's going to get better. And that's why you're mad. You're mad because you're trying to defy the laws of the universe to get something that you care about done in a way that it never gets done. You're disappointed in your not applying the laws as you now know them to be. There's no satisfaction in not moving in the direction of who you are. And the direction of who you are is believing in people, not doubting them, wanting the best for them, not observing the worst, eager about the slightest awareness that they're going to discover of their own power. It's so exhilarating to hold an intention for someone and to not deviate from it and then see them live it and know that you laid down some tracks for them, but they had to find them. You're acting like, in this situation, you would be acting like a beamed-in satellite dish version of their own inner being, treating them as their inner being treats them. Your inner being never says, oh, you're in a jam? Well, I'll bail you out. I will change the rules of the game. I will change the way the law of attraction works. You can complain as much as you want, and things will turn out for you. Your inner being never tries to make you an exception. Your inner being always knows how it works and holds to the knowing that you can do it. That's what empowerment is. And the thing is, you can't give empowerment to him. But when you give your empowerment away because of him, you're pissed. You can't empower him, but you can stay empowered. And maybe he'll catch on this time. If you say the words with enough alignment, really mean it. Can't be mad and say those words. You have to be in love with him when you say those words. In love with him. You have to be in love with him. I want so much for your success. You deserve it. You were born asking for it, and you deserve it. And you're close, man. You can do this. You can do this. You can do it. You can do it.